If you're retired and you've been looking at ways to make extra money online, I want you to stop for a minute. Don't open another YouTube video about side hustles. Don't download another list of 10 ways retirees can make money. And please don't sign up for another opportunity just because someone tells you it's easy. Because I think there's a good chance that more information is not what you need. You may need something much simpler, one path that actually fits you. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I would figure that out. One of the things I see over and over is retirees jumping from opportunity to opportunity. Maybe you've looked at affiliate marketing. Maybe you thought about selling digital products. Maybe you've heard about coaching. Maybe you've watched videos about freelancing, Etsy, YouTube, AI, print on demand, or some other online business model. And every one of them sounds pretty good. That's the problem. When you have too many possibilities, it's really hard to know where to start. So you keep searching and searching. And before you know it, you spent weeks or even months learning about making money without actually ever making money. And you didn't try one thing. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know something. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't need more hustle. You don't need to become an internet entrepreneur. And you definitely don't need to figure out that perfect business. You need to find one realistic path that you're willing to test. That's the idea behind what I call pocket cash. Pocket cash isn't about replacing your career or getting a new job. It's not about becoming an influencer. It's not about chasing every new online opportunity. It's about finding a simple way to use something you already know, enjoy, or have experience with to create some additional income. The key word is simple. I want you to think about this as a 90-day experience, not what business should I build for the rest of my life. Instead, think about what's one path I could safely try for the next 90 days. That question makes it much easier to answer. Step 1, take a look at what you already have. Before you start looking at an opportunity, look at yourself. Take a piece of paper and make 3 columns. Column 1, put things I enjoy or don't mind doing. Maybe that's organizing. Maybe you like teaching. Maybe you love gardening. Maybe you're good with computers and technology. Yes, there's a lot of us older people who don't mind that. Maybe you enjoy planning trips. Maybe you're a good listener. Don't worry about whether you think someone would pay you. Just make the list. Column 2, write things people already ask me for help with. This one could be really interesting. What do people call you about? What do your friends say? Could you help me with this? How did you do that? Would you mind looking at this for me? Those questions are clues. In column 3, I want you to put things I've done with work, hobbies, or life. Don't discount your life experiences. Maybe you managed a household for 30 years. Maybe you organized events. Maybe you worked in accounting. Maybe you trained employees in HR. Maybe you raised a bunch of kids. 1 or 10 doesn't matter. Maybe you volunteered. Maybe you're the person everyone turns to when something needs figuring out. You already have assets. You may just not be looking at them as assets. Now, step number 2 is where you want to look for the overlap. Now look across those 3 columns. You're looking for something that might appear in more than one place, something you enjoy or at least don't mind doing, something people already recognize you as being good at, and something you've had experience with. That's where I would start looking at your pocket cash path. Not because it's guaranteed to make money, because it's a much more sensible place to start than randomly choosing an internet business model. So step 3 would be choose one path. Once you've identified a few possibilities, I want you to force yourself to choose one. This will be really hard. This is where I know some of you are going to push back. You're going to say, but what if I choose the wrong one? And here's my answer. You're not marrying it, you're testing it. Give yourself 90 days and then ask, can I explain this idea in one sentence? Can I imagine starting it within the next 7 days? Does it fit my skills and my life? Can I think of a real person who might want this? Am I willing to actually try it? If the answer is yes, that's enough to start. You don't need certainty, you just need a reasonable next experiment. Step 4 is don't build everything first. This is another mistake I see. People choose an idea and immediately start building. They make a website, they design a logo, they create a course, they spend weeks learning technology, and then they finally put their offer in front of somebody. But here's the thing, I want you to reverse that. Talk to people before you build anything. If you think you could help people organize their finances, talk to someone who has that problem. If you think you could teach a skill, talk to someone who wants to learn it. If you think you could create a simple guide, find out whether people actually want the results that that guide would provide. You don't need a perfect business. You need evidence that somebody cares. Here's a quick example. Let's say you're retired and you've always been the person friends ask to help them organize their travel. Instead of saying, I'm going to start a travel business, say this instead. I could help busy retirees plan a simple 2-week trip without spending hours researching everything. That's very specific. And that's what's needed out in the marketplace today. Now you can have a conversation with somebody. You can ask what they struggle with. You can see whether they would actually value the help. And then you can decide what to do next. That's how I would approach Pocket Cash. Small, specific, and testable. And now there's one question I want you to ask yourself. So instead of asking, what's the best way to make money online? I want you to ask, what do I already know, enjoy, or have experience with that could solve a problem for someone else? That's a much better question. Tell me this, what would you like your Pocket Cash to help you do? Maybe it's an extra $200 a month. Maybe it's $500, more or less. Maybe you just want to have some spending money that doesn't come out of your retirement savings, because none of us want to touch that. Leave a comment and tell me what you're hoping to accomplish. And if you have any idea of what you'd like to do, tell me that too. I'll be reading the comments and responding. And if you'd rather talk privately, I put a link to our club where you can tell me a little bit about yourself and join for free. I'm particularly interested in connecting with 1 or 2 retirees who are really serious about actually testing a path, not just collecting more ideas. So to finish up, you don't need another 50 online income ideas. You don't need to figure out your entire future. You just need one reasonable path, one small experiment, and one next step. That's how Pocket Cash starts. I'll see you in the next video.